You send your kids to school and you expect them to be safe.
It's devastating to see these teachers, their broken hearts. They're doing the best they can.
The response from the metro area was overwhelming. That a lot of people self-deployed because that's what we do for each other when you have an active shooter.
She couldn't stop crying. It was just, I have never in my life been through something like this. It was horrifying.
And we plan for these things. We hope to never use it, but there are times that we need to, and this is one of those days, unfortunately.
Right now, we begin tonight with breaking news. A parent's worst nightmare becoming reality for some Colorado families tonight.
3 students are in the hospital after a shooting at Evergreen High School during the lunch period this afternoon. Right now, we know one of those students is believed to be the shooter. Thanks for joining us. For Denver 7 News at 6, I'm Micah Smith.
And I'm Ryan Fish. Right now, we know there is no longer a threat to the students or the community, and we have live team coverage across the community tonight as we work to learn more about exactly what happened and who these victims are.
And we want to go first to our Veronica Acosta, who's been talking with families as they reunite with students at Bergen Meadow Elementary School. Veronica.
You know, all of those reunifications have now been done. Bergen Meadow Elementary School, it is empty behind me. The caution tape is still up. Those first responders also seemingly still in this area. But all of those families, those parents, those high school students, those middle and elementary school students, they are now all gone. They have reunified with their families. They have gone home after a really awful day. But we saw those emotions. They were high as parents were getting to the elementary school, running up to those doors. We saw as buses, Jefferson County School District buses arrived here, at least 10 of them. Most of those filled with high school students, dropping them off right in front of the school, getting them in, and then eventually getting them with their parents. Hours ago, we have been here for about 4 or 5, if not more. We saw that line of parents standing outside of the elementary school, all lined up. We're talking hundreds, just waiting to see their loved ones, their little ones get out. The middle school not far from here as well. That was put on a lockdown after news of the shooting. So many of those parents also coming here to pick up their students, and we spoke to so many of them. Shannon, who picked up her young son, a 7th grader, Brennan, from his school. He was previously homeschooled. This was his first year coming to a real school. She told us that this is what she worried about for so long. So this was her biggest fear coming true. We also spoke to Ty, a freshman at Evergreen High School. He ran me through what he heard when he was outside, the popping noises that he so quickly knew were gunshots. We heard from other students who were just as scared, and other parents who said the first thing they did when they saw their children was give them a hug and then make sure they weren't breaking down into tears. The last thing they wanted to do was scare them more. Take a listen.
I just told her what was happening and that I was safe, but scared.
You're really anxious, sad, really scared, and so grateful. So grateful for the really brave staff here in Jefferson County and at Evergreen, and so grateful for first responders.
It was a lot of emotions rushing through my head, a lot of tears and stuff.
And how are your friends? Are they all doing okay?
A lot of my friends are doing okay, but one of them is not.
And Ty really overcome with emotion at the end of our interview there, because as you heard him say, he was still worried about at least one of his friends. Shannon, who you also heard from, she told me that her dad was a first responder at Columbine. So you can only imagine the kind of feelings this stirred up for her, especially for her 7th grader, for Brennan there, who she quickly came down to pick up at Bergen Meadow Elementary School. A tough night for all of these parents, you guys, who are now, most of them luckily have been able to pick up their children and gone home, but still very emotional. Definitely not what you want to see. Families running toward the front door of an elementary school to try and get their little ones, many of them overcome with emotion. We're grateful that so many of them are home now.
Just so heartbreaking to hear from them. Thank you so much for that update, Veronica. We also have some video sent into our newsroom showing students running to a house across the street from their school, begging to be let inside to get to safety. We want to warn you, it is tough to watch.
Yo, ring the doorbell. No, please. I know these people. Keep running!
can hear the panic there, some muffled voices, but it sounds like those kids clearly it looks like they're coming from school, backpacks, saying, I know these people, let us in. Some kids out of breath there as well. Looks like they had been running to get to safety, and that is just really tough to watch, to show just the fear and the panic happening in that moment.
Yeah. You can feel their fear. There's no other way to put it. You can feel their fear. We heard from one parent in line trying to pick up her son. She tells us Gabriel is 15 and has autism. When he heard gunfire, he and a group of students ran to the nearest exit.
When they were running by one of the houses, one of the civilians let them in through the garage and let them all stay there to call their parents and tell them that they were safe, and let them stay there until the school started evacuating to Wilmot to move kids.
Yet another example of a community member just showing empathy and heroism, trying to help these kids as best she could. We do want to go now to Denver 7's Russell Haythorne at Common Spirit St. Anthony Hospital in Lakewood.
And Russell, you've been talking with doctors there about the status of these victims tonight.
Yeah, we got a significant update from doctors this evening, Ryan and Mike. Dr. Brian Blackwood, the head of trauma, came out at about 5 o'clock this evening and gave us an update on those patient conditions. So what we know at this hour is that 3 teenage gunshot patients were transported here to St. Anthony's from Evergreen High School today. 2 are victims and 1 is the shooter himself. We also know that one of those patients has non-life-threatening injuries and is in stable condition tonight, and then 2 others are in critical condition, but it's still unclear who is whom in terms of who's in what condition. I'm going to step out of the way and show you, sort of paint a picture of what's happening at this hour here at St. Anthony's. We still have several patrol units in the emergency department entrance here. You have a Lakewood police cruiser, and then we also have some sheriff's deputies from Jeffco here as well. We watched this afternoon as several emergency vehicles pulled into the emergency department, and then civilians jumped out and ran inside, presumably friends and family of those victims. At least 2 of those patients underwent surgery this afternoon. Of course, we don't know who the victims are, but you can only imagine how heartbreaking this is for those families. That doctor came out this evening. He talked about how they respond in situations like this. Take a listen.
We weren't sure exactly how many patients, so we prepared for multiple, and that allowed us to take care of the patients very quickly when they came in. We have a big team that responds to incidents like this. The whole hospital, kind of shifts gears. So we have a great ED staff, a great trauma team, lots of providers who show up and are ready to take care of patients as soon as they arrive. In this case, we received 3 patients kind of simultaneously in order, a few minutes apart, and we had a team that was prepped and ready to go.
So again, St. Anthony's has 3 teenage gunshot patients under its care this evening. 2 are in critical condition. 1 is in stable. The hospital says that it has done its last press briefing for the evening, but they say if there are any updates, they will email those to our newsroom. So we will keep you updated throughout the evening. For now, 3 patients remain here at St. Anthony's Hospital. Again, 2 critical and 1 stable. I'm Russell Haythorne, live at Common Spirit St. Anthony's in Lakewood. Back to you guys.
Thank you for all of your work.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Okay.
Thank you for all your work tonight, Russell. And we do have Denver 7's Colette Bordelon, who recently, just within the last half hour or so, heard an update from Jeffco Public Schools. Colette, can you hear us? Is there anything you can share with us at this time?
Yeah, so we just finished up with the Jeffco superintendent here at Wilmot Elementary School, and actually you can't see it anymore, but just over this ridge is Evergreen High School. So this middle school so close to the high school, and the superintendent speaking about how moments like this, these tragic incidents, they can never be normalized, and too often they are. She called on the community to be courageous. She says that there has to be a collective will of this organization to come together and continue protecting the children that they serve. I did confirm with Jeffco that there was a school resource officer on Evergreen High School's campus, but this is what the superintendent had to say tonight.
I am devastated to share this news with you, and I'm also angry. No child should ever face this kind of danger, and no community should be asked to absorb this kind of pain.
So that superintendent also getting emotional during that statement. You could see the emotion in the people who gathered, who called this emergency press conference to speak to the community, and that was really their goal. They weren't taking any questions. They weren't talking about the investigation at all. That investigation obviously being led by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. So really here tonight, that was the school district's chance to address the community and tell the community that they stand with the people connected to Evergreen High School and beyond in Jeffco Public Schools. Live in Evergreen, Colette Portelon, Denver 7.
Very strong words from the leaders of the Jeffco School District. Thank you, Colette. And tonight we're also learning Evergreen High School held a protest against gun violence in April 2023. Former student Chloe Bender sent us these photos of students demonstrating at that time. Now, you can see them holding signs, calling for peace, and saying things like, "We are the future," and you certainly are the future. You showed that today with the love and actions toward each other.
And we are working to get more answers by the minute, and we'll continue to bring you updates right here on Denver 7 throughout the hour as we learn new information.
You can also find updates anytime on denver7.com. We have full comprehensive coverage on this shooting as we work to learn more about what exactly happened.